Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. What's going on, team? How are we all?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm good. Just full of energy today. Let's go. All right, who are you waiting on? Danny, Paul, Jack, all the closest. Chelsea.
Just a sales win. Matt Dart made another sale and he's been on his script that we updated. So after the training the other day, I gave him some feedback on his script and he's been using it and he's had 2 sales this week.
So good.
That's just a win.
That's
Amazing,
amazing.
amazing. Who else is gonna win? Let's drop a win in the chat while we wait for everyone else. Danny's here now too.
Yo, yo, yo. I was on a different link, so.
Oh, good. I just changed it because I believe that Jake is on a call. Drop a link in the chat, guys. We'd love to see what's been winning for you. I'll share mine. My win is that I just feel like ever since we've been doing these trainings and we've been stepping up as a team, that there's a lot more of a connection and we're seeing a lot more wins and we're sharing a lot more of our wins and client success, and it's just really fucking cool. So super keen for it. Bianca, you said Meraki is flying through their messaging and offer steps and full of energy. I love that.
Yeah, they're really
Anyone else?
inspired. Yeah.
That's so good. No one else has any wins. Ellie's trying to
Oh,
look at Marco.
potential sale.
Vision Pass, amazing. How do we know if it's coming through?
Well, I was on the phone to her live and I didn't have the payment links. She was ready to go. So I was waiting. I could only push it out so long. So I had to hang up and wait for it to come through. But I've sent everything through to her now. And I'll chase her up, obviously, in a couple of hours. So fingers crossed she'll be on for you, Bianca. She'll be really good. She's
Oh, awesome.
hot
Cool.
and yeah, I spoke to her about you and said you're an absolute gun. So yeah, she's keen.
Oh, thank
So
you.
good.
Nice work.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So good. Love that, Stacey. All right, what else we got? Bet team and battle for the game. Amazing. What else? All right, here comes Jake. Cool. All right. Let's pull up the sheet. So I'm going to run you guys through the first little part, and then Jake is going to take it away. So we are on day 4 of our training. Obviously, yesterday we went deep into discovery, which is super cool. I really enjoyed it, and it was really cool seeing just going through like the discovery. Obviously, we know it's super important, and not just for you closers, but also for us coaches. Like that discovery is so important, which is why Tim was so great at it, because he's been coaching for so long. It's also a really important part for us to teach our clients. But Jake, you cool if I run through this and then you can take over?
Yeah, of course, of course. Let's go.
Amazing, so good. All right, so today we're going through pitch and delivery. So we're covering the transition. Obviously, when it comes to transition, guys, we want to have a super clean transition from going through the discovery into now how we're going to help them solve their specific problems. We're going to go through the pitch, what a pitch codex is, and then the delivery of it as well. So now that we're getting into the prescribe section and we're actually providing some strategy and some knowledge around exactly what they need to do. So I believe client today, you're playing that, Bianca, and Jake will play the closer. But I'll go through the core concept first. So the transition is the clean bridge from discovery to prescription. So I don't know if you guys saw the other day, but one thing I mentioned in the chat was like painting a very clear picture between Heaven and Hell Island, and that creates a really strong buying pocket. So now we're going to deliver to them exactly what we're going to do to solve their problems and take them from hell to heaven. So no jarring pivot into sales mode either. The pen and pad gets them participating, and a prospect is actually bought into the process because they're writing it down. I don't know if you guys know this, obviously, like they take this in school all the time, but when you write shit down, it kind of like sticks a little bit more in your head as well. So that's awesome. It matters because the benefit ties into every step of what they've told you. So everything that they have told you inside of the discovery, you are now turning this into selling them exactly what they need to do in order to overcome that. And then obviously once they come into the program, they'll be able to solve those problems. The structure, so to drill. Pitch codex. So stage 1, foundation, stage 2, marketing, stage 3, sales, stage 4, operations and hiring. Now, obviously we're going to make this specific to them and what they need. So sometimes it can be to do with marketing, but if you can word it so it's specific in the language that you use to the problems that they had told you inside of their discovery, it's just going to make it more personalized, and it's going to show that you've really listened to them throughout the discovery as well, because you're almost reflecting exactly what they've said. Then also really important that we have our tie downs and our temp checks throughout. So first we fix X. This matters because of the specific words they've used. The benefit to you is that the outcome that they want, does that make sense? That's a tie down. We want to make sure that everything lands with them before we move on to the next stage, because if you just skim through everything, they're going to miss some bits, and you're going to want to make sure that every point lands for them. So, you know, did I miss anything? Does that make sense? Is that clear? Just simple language like that to make sure that they've tied down and they've bought into exactly what you're saying. The lines that carry the day. Okay, I've never heard that saying before, but let's roll with it. Anything else I need to know that we haven't covered yet? So again, this is just another way to tie down, make sure that you guys are reading off the same page. It also catches the landmines they've been sitting on. So if something has come up for them during the call, as you've been talking, or, you know, maybe something doesn't feel right, or you've maybe mirrored something that they said, but maybe they didn't tell you it in this most specific way they wanted to originally, this opens up that space for them to be able to share exactly what they meant. And this is just more ammo for you to be able to use inside of your pitch as well. So listen carefully. For you, it's 6 things, 6 steps to go from where you want to go, like to goal in the next 6 months. It could be 3 things, it could be 4, it could be 6, depending on what they've told you. And then we get to create that into a bespoke offer. Delivery, we want to make sure that we're covering the specific coaching. I also, inside of the re-sign calls, Jake, I don't know how you want to run this, so I'll let you take over this part. But essentially what I've been doing is I'm like, cool, we do a one-to-one onboarding. And prior to the onboarding, the coaches are going to go through your onboarding form and anything else that they need to review beforehand. So the sales notes. And then obviously after the onboarding call, we then do a second one-to-one call within the same month. So that 2 weeks after, so then they know like what that one-to-one support looks like within the first 30 days. And then after that, it's like a monthly accountability call. Then obviously we've got the group calls, the platform, the retreats, but we're selling the support, not just like the system that they use. So we want to make sure that they know that every step of the way, when it comes to implementing all of the actions, that someone's going to be there helping give direction and understanding around the what and the why as well. So Jake, over to you. Do you want me to keep this sharing screen, or do you want me to move it around? Or...
I'll share, that's okay. Just click day 3 for me. Oh, that's okay. So day 3 was the discovery, is that right? Just make sure okay, so we're going from there to that. Cool, guys. Excited. Pitch is my most enjoyable part of the script. It's where the money is made. So if we go over to here, we'll just doing a sale call before this. So basically we went from discovery, we found out everything we need to know about their business, their goal, the consequence, like what's going to happen if they don't fix this. Fantastic. So we start to transition when we know this person has a problem. We know exactly what it is. They want to solve it. We're all on the same page. Fantastic. Now it's just like, cool, what does that actually look like? Does it align? And what are the things stopping them from moving forward? So the transition is this part here. Super important. We've mentioned a couple of things around customization, tying it back to the prospect. So with the transition, you mentioned that line before, Tanea. I don't have any more questions. Is there anything else I need to know that we've covered? Now, with a script, like you don't say it word for word. I'll normally say, look, I don't have any more questions. Is there anything else that I need to know that's like super important about your business and is make or break the success of what we're about to do? And they'll be like, they'll usually think, and then they'll tell me something, or, you know, no, it's all good, whatever. Great. So again, it's just showing that you actually care about your work. You care about the service you provide. So what we do in the transition, we say, cool, well, based on what you've told me, we can definitely help. We explain why we can help. This is super important. So we say, cool, we can definitely help. The reason I say that is because you're actually in a really good position. You've been in the industry for 6 years. You've got a database of 7,000 people. You're really good at what you do. You've got proof of concept. What seems to be missing right now is you don't really have any idea of what to do with marketing. you're not doing any content, you're kind of just posting random things on a Facebook group and hoping for referrals. So that's something we can definitely help with, and that's why I feel like we can help. And they'll be like, cool. So just like recapping the whole situation, tying it down. So I usually ask, like, where do you want to go from here? I can walk you through A to Z of how we can, get you to 50K a month if you'd like, but you tell me. Again, you ask that question depending on the person, but usually they'll say, let's go through it. So into the pitch, sales the transition. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys understand. Feel free to ask any questions, how you would do that as a coach, how you would do that as a setter, how you do that. Because transition is transition. Use that exact same structure in so many different aspects, not just a sale in this particular area. Cool. Just see if there's any questions. No, all good. Cool. All right. So if we go into the pitch, and we'll role play this soon. So like Tanea said, the reason we get them to write it down is so they process it, but also we know they're paying attention. We can also ask them questions back on the notes that they can actually answer and further build their understanding. It's just a more productive conversation. So we say, cool, got a pen and paper, fantastic. I want you to write down 1 to 4 on the side of the piece of paper with a space in between. And then we go into the pitch codex. So the way to frame it first is everything we do is customized to the client. So for you, it's 4 things that are required to get you from X to Y. So from get you to 100K a month, from 20K a month in 6 months, whatever it is. So that's where we customize it. So to customize it is simply, in stage 1, we do this, right? But then what you say within that, you just tie it back to them. So you might say like, so stage 1, we audit your business and we figure out what the biggest constraints are and create a customized business plan for 30 days. Now, with your situation, the problem is you're going around in circles and you don't have any time dedicated as the CEO. So you're kind of just stuck where you are, right? How it affects you is you've been stuck at this revenue level for 6 months and you can't hire staff and you can't even plan to have a family because you can't not work and make money, right? So you're just tying it back to their situation, right? So you say, cool, what we do is, and then you tell them how we're going to fix it. So A, B, C. So we do an audit. We plan out, it's a 30-day plan. We changed that with Tanea. So 30-day custom plan on a constraints-based model. We give you homework, X, Y, Z, kind of explain a little bit. But this is the most important part here. You tie it back to how it's going to benefit them. So we told them how it affects them not having it, solution, and then we tell them how, like the before and after, right? So this matters because once you have this in place, you will also have confidence to get to where you need to go on a consistent basis and transparency of the progress, which you don't have. But it's going to benefit you because you're actually going to grow your revenue and you can start planning for a family. Make sense? Cool. Usually I'll just kind of keep it at make sense and then I'll go to stage 2. So the structure is exactly the same. It's just a different part of the business. So cool, stage 2, most business owners don't fully understand how to position themselves, say what attracts their customers, communicate the value of what they do. The problem with that is how it affects you is tie it back to what they've told you. So it makes it real for them. What we do to solve it is this, we fix your business model, clarify and implement your position, your offer, your message, and then build content and an email marketing system and paid ads, I believe it is as well. This matters because, and it benefits you, why? So you're tying it to their problem. So to give you just a really clear idea of the structure, so you tell them, you relate it to other business owners, you tie it to their problem, so their hell island. You tie it to their problem and how it affects them, so the before. You tell them the solution, and then you tell them the after, so how it connects to their heaven island. Yeah, and then you say, makes sense, cool. So you go through each of these, we'll role play it. We don't have to talk through all of them. So we do sales process, and then stage 4, we do operations, and we do stuff. At the end, which is more important, you want to really dive into a temperature check, generally is what I do. So I'll say, cool. So any questions on that? Sweet. I don't usually ask that personally. I usually say, cool. So based on where you're at right now, how do you feel this aligns to you? Sort of 1 out of 10, 10. It's incredible. It's everything I've been looking for. 1, I hate this guy. I never want to talk to him again. Where are you sitting? Most people will say anywhere between a 7 to a 9, right? And then generally you say, cool. So in this process, what haven't you seen that would make you a 10? And they're like, it's really good. I'm just not sure like how I would make time for it, for example. We have our first objection. Okay, let's work through that because we're both on the same page. We're in a collaborative context. It's not a defensive position at the end of a price drop. So we work through the objection. Then we go into delivery. Cool. So Tanea, if you want to jump on, I think what would be cool, because you're obviously on the coaching side, Tanea, is what's really important in these stages to make sure that it's really clearly communicated and aligned with what we actually do. Just to make sure that's really clean. So stage 1, for example, what is the actual first stage of the process with the audit? Is that correct? So it's like a audit, weekly rhythm, 30-day plan, and then some homework before their first call?
Yeah, I'm actually going to get Ruth to answer this.
Cool. Jump on, Ruth.
And then Bianca, you can jump in too, because you guys are the ones working with the clients. And you guys have just recently built out some new game plans. So if you want to share a little bit about what the process is that we now do in the coaching team in terms of how it all works, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so are you wanting me to talk through the process of the onboarding and then what they receive after that, or like the whole entire process?
So just stage 1. So the first stage of our process, which is I guess it's the onboarding call, is the audit, weekly rhythm, the 30-day custom plan based on constraints-based model, and then we give them some homework. Is that accurate? Would you word it differently? Yeah.
We obviously get the client and then sent through their onboarding form, where then both Bianca and I go. I do a lot of prep, so I go and look through, all of their website, their Instagram, all of the documents that they've sent. We then do the call and we review their onboarding form, and through that process, we give them a customized plan that we send to them, and then we do a 2-week momentum call after to kind of that's a new process though. The momentum call is new, so that's 2 weeks after their plan to make sure that they're on track.
And just recently, inside of these plans, what's added now is like what the specific resources they need to watch, the action they need to go and do after watching that, and then also when the agreed deadline is, so they're held accountable to those actions as well. And then the coaches are putting in their calendar before the task is due to send themselves a reminder to message the client and say, hey, where are you at with XYZ, because that's due tomorrow.
We also,
what do you think?
Sorry.
I was just going to say to Tanea, do you guys have a document sort of written out with like that whole coaching process? Because I think that'd be super cool for us to read over and just like memorize, so we can freestyle on the sales call and like add in like bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'll drop the link inside of this chat so everyone can see, but there is like a whole like lot of processes and SOPs around like the coaching and how we do things. So I'll drop that in the chat.
Awesome. Go Bianca, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to add, they also send through their financials, their P&L with their onboarding planner. And so we look at those and see, I've made a few suggestions for them to review, like if their subscriptions are really high, they can review that, and we can get them some quick wins in the first 2 weeks or first 30 days. Some quick wins is part of their game plan as well. Probably doesn't need to be mentioned on your call, but we're looking at how we can get them momentum early on and spot things. Like they might have some blind spots. We can spot things because we go deep looking at their business and their digital footprint and their financials and everything like that. From I guess, from an operator's perspective. So
I think it's great for us to know for sure, because like tell me, Danny and Paul, like when you hear that, you feel like really confident, about positioning and pitching, because you're like, wow, that's awesome. Like we're gonna crush this. So I think that's great.
Cool.
So that's stage 1. When we go into stage 2, so basically, so we're focusing on, so the business model is all about getting them to, dial in their positioning, their offer, their message. So who they sell to, how they sell, what they sell. So in terms of this sort of part here, We fixed their business model by clarifying and implementing their position, offer, and message to then build paid ads, content, email in a marketing system. Is that right?
Sorry, say that one more time. I was getting the link for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's thanks to that. Okay, that's correct. Okay, cool. So to then build a marketing system with content. Just going into this, like, because we're going to role play this anyway, but I want to make sure that we're both communicating like super clearly, so then the standards are kind of set, and then coaching kind of we pass the ball on, but also so that what the sales guys are training on, they're like really dialing in something they feel super confident in as well. So to then build a marketing system with content, paid ads.
Oh yeah, paid ads.
Content, email. Yeah, perfect. Cool. The way I explain the paid ads, content, email is kind of becoming a coaching workshop, but I think it's super important. So the paid ads is kind of like you pay a platform to position yourself in front of enough of the right people. Content's like a digital business card, build trust in the marketplace. You know, who you are, what you do, why you're different. And then email is like an ecosystem we build. So when someone's not ready to buy, we educate them, nurture them, so that when they are ready to buy, there's an opportunity. Is that accurate, Ruth, Bianca, to now?
Yeah.
Is it more than email? Is it text and like Insta, DM as well that you focus on for nurturing?
Yeah, there's a bit of everything. I suppose with the email marketing though, it's like it's something that they can automate, so they can set it up based on like some of the strategies that you have.
Yeah.
And then it's consistent, you know, like people would have like a regular cadence that they would send out emails to, like, for example, Tim and Steph, I know they send out emails every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. And it's just keeping yourself top of mind. So there's actually something called the TOMA curve, top of mind awareness. And the email sequences that we have is keeping yourself top of mind to everyone who's within the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Cool. Stage 3, I don't have too much on this, pretty straightforward. But basically, we're helping business owners fully understand how to sell in the way people want to buy. So in my understanding, we are fixing the sales process by personalizing it to each of the marketing channels to make sure there's like a step-by-step process in order to convert. Like it says 70 to 80% in our document, but is that correct as well? Is there that kind of more to that?
Yes. Quick question. With these stages, this is what is this what they're writing down 1 to 4?
Yeah.
Okay. But is there the opportunity to make it more specific to them, or is this what's going to be said?
Yeah, so at the moment, the first line and this line here, so most business owners struggle with what we do to fix it is generally like a process. So it's pretty similar. What you say in these 4 prompts is customized to the person. So we tie it to their problem and tie it to their goal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, cool. I think you're just like playing around with the language, like what Tim I think said yesterday was like sell them what they want and then give them what they need once they're here.
Yeah. I mean, this script here, I kind of like, I read based on the structure, but when I talk to a person, just so everyone knows, like I say something completely different to every person. It's still the same process, it's still the same thing, but it's language based on our conversation. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we need a structure, I suppose, to make sure we have the communication consistent. Can't just like say we do something we don't do type of thing. Yeah. So is there anything to add on the sales process, or is that's pretty much it, straightforward?
I think that's good. I think though, like it's just if there's someone who's primarily sold in the DMs, for example, Ruth has someone who's never gotten on a sales call before. And so like telling them that we're going to like teach them how to do sales calls, if we haven't yet got them over that belief blocker yet, that might be like turn them off rather than like get them excited, just as an example. So I guess like just making sure we're wary of like what we're saying in these parts to make sure that we're fully aligned with like getting them a better result. Yes, but also making sure that we're just leveraging the low-hanging fruit that's there.
So there's many different mediums that we do the sale through, like DM, text, calls, application, direct to sale, like that. Yeah, it's all sorts of things. Okay. Stage 4. So in terms of the operations and staff type of thing, like the scale system and dream team. So that's basically automating, delegating admin, SOPs, AI automations, dashboards, and then also just basically helping them find and hire the right people and put systems in place. Is that right?
Yeah, but also like having like a hiring timeline. So, you know, if they want to get the business to XYZ, often that means that they're going to need to invest in either a new system or a person to help them like push past the ceiling of complexity. Sometimes that means the investment they dip, but the way that I like to look at this is like the business phases of growth, and we're never actually going to dip below where we originally started as we continue to make investments into the right people and the right systems that are going to get them to a higher revenue level.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. That'd probably be something that you reaffirm throughout the coaching process more than the sales call. Yeah. Unless they're worried about that, of course. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, it depends where they're at. You could let them know that like as we go through business, we hit ceilings of complexity. But this is like a really strong part about this is that we're going to help you navigate through those ceilings of complexity with showing you the pathway of hiring the right person and going deep into that, or implementing the right system, blah, blah, blah.
Cool. Okay. If this is helpful, guys, just put a 1 in the chat, like clarifying what we do, how we word it, our product, that sort of stuff. If not, put a 2 or put a like thumbs down. So the next part of the pitch is the delivery, which we go into. So the delivery essentially, again, 4 parts that get delivered. So trying to stick to the 4. The structure behind all this is from Cole Gordon's team, by the way, and Elizabeth, and they try to keep everything to 3 or 4. So it's enough for them to process without overwhelming them, and we can stay on a cadence with keeping them engaged and getting confirmation along the way. So 4 parts to deliver. Generally, at this point, when I ask for alignment, they generally say something that's like related to a problem that's solved by telling them how we do it, which is great. We transition. So delivery is like we want them to know how we're going to get there. They know what we're going to do. So how we're going to get there, 4 parts. First part is one-on-one coaching. So generally what I'll say within this sort of section part is I just say, cool. So one-on-one, you'll have an assigned coach daily, weekly, monthly. So daily, you have access to someone to ask questions, get feedback, review things via message, or you can post in the community to get advice from other business owners like yourself. Then weekly is like KPIs. You submit your KPIs every Sunday. We review it and we course correct small problems before they become big. Again, going into the monthly is like a strategy call where we kind of pull apart the business, look at what's working, not working, and then create a custom plan from that and double down on what's working, get rid of what's not, essentially, or fix it. Is that also accurate as well to now?
Yes.
Or Ruth? Okay, cool. Sweet. So once we go through that part, that's kind of like, cool, is that enough support? Yeah, fantastic. Again, like when we role play, we'll connect it to the person. We then go through the daily calls, sorry. So I kind of frame,
just here, it says weekly calls plus direct tech support. That's just the WhatsApp is only for Tim and Steph. Otherwise, it's just school support.
Cool. Oh, that was more so for the school. So text through school. I'll just say direct school support, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, sweet. Then we go through the weekly group calls. So the way I frame this is like the one-on-one coaching is going to get you there, but the group calls are going to get you there faster. So what it essentially is a call for everything that needs fixing. Essentially, there's a call on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll talk through each of the calls. So my understanding is Monday is momentum. I call it just general problem solving. So Mondays with you, Ruth, I believe, and it's essentially going through getting clarity on anything they're stuck with. Tuesday has changed, I believe, to marketing and strategy. So we go through anything that's essentially not paid ads, so email, content, funnels, ad strategy. Wednesday, sales, pretty straightforward. Thursday is paid ads. So these have actually changed recently. And then Friday, I say innovation, and I just explained Founder Friday, which is basically Founder Friday is about sort of understanding what's working and not working in the industry and kind of being ahead of the competition. Is that how you'd sort of frame it?
Yeah. It's also just a really great way to like keep up to date what's working, what's not working, and also just listening to Tim and Steph outside of the podcast on like what they need to be doing to keep moving the needle, whether it's like something to do with their identity or mindset, or they'll do like a review session where they'll go through and like review everyone's landing pages or something. I've seen them do that before as well.
We've also had people say that Founder Friday is worth the entire investment. Just FYI. I've had quite a few people say to me like that's one of the best calls, you know.
Why is that, Ruth? Like, why do you feel like they say that, or have they told you a reason? Or
I think they're just really informative, and they, you know, people walk away with, I guess, something that they can really implement, or you know, it's just, I think it's as you said, innovative. It's keeping ahead of the game. I don't know. They are really great. Yeah, Tim's big brain. They're just a great call. Like they're a great addition.
It's a lot of value.
Yeah, so much value.
Awesome. Another reason. Yeah, go Paul. Go.
Just confirming, like 12, 18 months ago, I know they were in revenue ranges. I'm assuming they've changed out of revenue ranges now, and it's just everybody in the one kind of container for sharing info. Is there a general, like, are we talking, is it still like 10 to 15 people per call? Are there ones that are like really blow out and you find like 30 people are on Founder Friday or something?
Ruth, Bianca?
So Tuesdays, the marketing call's typically really big. Like Steph can get up to, it ranges sometimes like 24, 30, depends on what week. Mondays usually like 16, 17. Sales calls probably about the same. The Thursday has been a paid ads teaching the past few weeks, and I haven't been on that. But Bianca, you were on that this morning. I'm not sure. But I know Founder Friday pretty much gets like 35, 40 sometimes. Like it's a big call.
Yeah, there was probably 10 or 15 on this morning, I guess, for the paid ads training.
Yeah. Sweet.
It did move a time slot, so maybe that also was an impact.
Yeah, I think some people may have not realized it was an hour earlier.
It's really good to, I think, go through the process like this as well, because we're recording this, so you can obviously listen back to it, or if we hire other people, they can listen to it. So that's an interesting one, because when I built out the script with Tim originally, it was like 10 people max call. So I'm definitely framing that completely wrong, because I'm still saying it's like 10 to 12 people a call. So they're probably getting burnt on that one. So maybe we should change that.
One of the things I say, Jake, with those calls is it's an opportunity to get coached directly from Tim and Steph too. So jump on those and submit your question, and you get live coaching from Tim and Steph direct, which they seem to respond to.
I say the same. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But also depends who's saying it, right? Because for some of Ruth's clients, it's also an opportunity to get Bianca's perspective, and Bianca's clients to get Ruth's perspective, and like just to have more brains is better than one.
Yeah, the brains trust.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that just the one-on-one is more than just the call and the check-ins with the coach. It's really like all of this support, like this whole success school group, I guess.
Yeah, I think from a sales perspective, I just frame it as like we have a specialist on each call, and then I walk them through each of the coaches and just say like, you have access to the whole team through the group calls, because everyone's got like heaps of value. But yeah, the Tim and Steph frame is good. So would you move away from because we were framing it as a positive of like it's a small group, this and that. Because when people hear group coaching, they're like, oh, I don't want to be like in a room with 50 people type thing. So how would you approach that that's like accurate from a coaching point of view?
I think just if we could
You
run
just tie it back to them. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
No, you go, Bianca. Go.
Oh, like I often think of the WIIFM, what's in it for them. And
Mhm.
that's probably why I say it's group, but you learn a lot from other people that are going through similar, plus you have the opportunity to get coached directly. And there's other businesses that have already been through what you've been through. So you get like so many extra sets of eyes on everything when we all work together.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question on that as well? Like, is there any calls where people don't get their questions answered? Say if you guys run over time and you couldn't quite get through people's questions?
Not on the calls I've been on, but I've only been on a few, but we go over time so that everybody, like 2 of them I've been on have gone 20 or 25 minutes over time so that everybody gets their question answered.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. Sounds good. Just tie it back to them. So then we go through the full training platform. So the way I frame the education side is 2 things, and this is just going off what I talked to with Tim. So one is you learn what you need to at the time you need to learn it, and then you can implement it. So you are increasing your knowledge as a business owner, so you become self-sustainable, independent, things like that, with or without us, or with or without, anyone, whatever, independent. The second thing is so you can bring your staff through our training systems for 12 months. I think it's lifetime access, Tim was saying. But if you hire a sales rep or you hire someone in marketing in 12 months, they can actually use our resources and all that sort of stuff. So are you aware of that as well? Is that accurate? That's just what me and Tim kind of wrote down.
Coaches, you're up.
So make sure it's just accurate across the board.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. That's all good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's two benefits. Again, we can tie it individually, but just so we've got a base. Then we've got our in-person retreats. So obviously with that, we've changed that. So I don't know what's happening with that with Vietnam. Like we talked about the implementation angle, where it's going to be like strategy, ads, sales across 3 days. Where are we at with that across the coaches as well?
Yeah, so that's all launching on Monday. I believe it was strategy, launch and sell. I can't remember what that first day is called. But Tim's put all the plans together, so I will grab all of those and make sure everyone's aware. This coaches team will have targets to get most of their clients there as well, so they'll need to know what they're also selling internally as well as you guys externally. But there's also landing pages and things like that that Sai has built that you guys can review as well, which will have stuff that you need to know on there. So I'll get Sai to make sure that she drops them in the main chat so everyone can click on them and have a look before it launches on Monday.
Perfect. Sounds good. So then we go into the committing phase. So again, this is all part of the pitch. So far we've got our process. So we pitch what we do, then we pitch how we do it, so delivery, and now we do a commitment phase. So we go through a temperature check. So we figure out where are they at. Again, I do it after each section, but in the structure, it's just at the end. And we're getting them to a 10. So if they're at a 7, which is everyone's worst number, we're just trying to pull out objections before we do the price. We want someone to be in the best position to buy with the least amount of resistance before we drop the price. Because after that, it's defense mode most of the time. So yeah, so if they say a 7, we're like, cool. How do you get to a 10? Like what's missing for you? Blah blah blah. They'll say this and that, or at this point they usually say, look, everything looks amazing. It's honestly just the price. Like I'm not sure what the investment is. Sweet. So like money aside, happy to go through the investment. Would you be happy to move forward based on what you've seen so far? Yeah, for sure. Like I think it'll definitely help. Why would it help? What do you like about it? Like get really specific. Basically they sell themselves. Cool. Then we go into the transition. So you feel good, no questions. What's next? Where do you want to go from here? Can we talk about the investment? Of course. We go through the onboarding. So we walk through, cool. Inside of my actual form, it's just a 3-step process, but this is like more detail for you. It's basically like 1, you pay the investment, 2, you book the onboarding call, 3, you fill out the form. We do a bunch of research, preparation for the call, as AKA your coach, and then we get to work. Cool. And then we go through the investment. So sound good? Yep, sweet. I'll go through this actually in here, because this is my actual sort of pitch document. I think it's this one here. Yeah. So basically, after we've temperature checked and we're happy they're all on board, we go through this part here. So time commitment, you need 5 to 10 hours to work on your business, do A, B, C. We have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Just explain that so it kind of protects both of us. Expectations are clear. Referral bonus. I don't know. We didn't really fully agree on what the referral bonus was. Is it $1,000 for 3 referrals? I think we just mentioned that at the retreat, but have we kind of like confirmed that?
Yeah, so I've just actually built out the referral SOP. So it's
cool.
I'll upload it today. It's $750 and a free one-on-one with Tim.
Okay, cool. I'll update that. Yeah, I think I saw it. Did you post it in the HOD? I think I saw it recently.
No, I
literally
finished it like before we jumped on this call. So
okay, cool. I'll update that. Sweet. So we go through the referral bonus anyway, and then we go into the onboarding process, 3-step process, keep it really simple. From here, we go straight into the investment. So the investment, depending on which option you think that they're going to be best with, Tim or with the coaches, majority of people are going to be with the coaches. So I generally say, cool, the most affordable way to get started with us for the 6 months to get you to X goal, whatever it is either paid in full 10K. You can save 5K. If you don't have the cash up front, like physically impossible, we have 2 payment plans, 2K with a credit card, 2.5K direct debit to the company. Yeah, how's that sit for you? Or like, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about that? I've tried the really direct pitch of this of like, yeah, 10K is the best option, say 5K, how would you like to proceed? Works really badly with this type of offer and audience. I find like a really collaborative approach and very open works really well, where you're just kind of like there to support them. So keep that frame. I'm here to help you make the best decision. I'm not here to tell you what you want to do what to do against your will. Like it's not like you don't bulldog them, essentially. Yeah, they just work through their concerns, and they'll usually say, they'll either give you an objection or they'll say, I really want to do the paid in full. I don't think I have that money right now. Okay, cool, no stress. Like money aside, why do you feel like this is going to get you to your goal? Okay, because it's reason. Sweet. Usually I'll go into like, we won't go into objection handling yet, but yeah, we'll go into objection handling at that point and just collaborative figuring it out. We've got a process for that in the script, but yeah, cool. So that's pretty much the end of the pitch. Obviously we've got Tim's one as well. You can also, part of the script, kind of work through the investment with them. So before you go into objection handling, usually you can say, cool, well, let's say hypothetically we did the 10K paid in full. Based on your price point, we would need 4 sales in the next 30 days, or in 30 days to pay that off. Is that realistic? Like, let's look at it together. Like, what's your database? You've got 7,000 people. Can we sell 5 people out of 7,000? Probably. You can never guarantee, you can never give certainty, but you can say, look, like the numbers make sense. Like, let's give it a go. And then kind of work through it that way as well. Cool. Any questions at this point? Everyone's happy? Post one if it makes sense. Make sure all good here. Okay, just having a look at some things here. I saw you did some messages here today.
We're not guaranteeing like specific results. We're just like some math and letting them know like what's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Personally, go.
I've been guaranteeing people 30K extra a month just based off putting the pressure on you guys. So I hope you're all good with that.
So now you're on the hot seat.
Oh.
Hopefully that's possible. Nah, it'd be good to just ask the sales team actually around like guarantee and certainty, because I think when for setters, the biggest objection all the time is delay. Like, oh, I want to do the webinar first, or I want to like, I don't know, do X, Y, Z, whatever it is before they book a call. With the closing, I think it's definitely a lot of the time logistics for sure, but uncertainty a lot of the time. So we can't guarantee things. If someone says to me, what's your guarantee? I say, I guarantee like we're going to die or we're going to be stuck where we are if we don't make a different decision. That's the only things I can really guarantee. And then I just walk through like, why are you asking that, blah, blah, blah. But what are Danny, Paul, I'll put you in the hot seat for a sec. If someone is uncertain or wants a guarantee or something like that, how do you approach that? Go Paul first. Yeah, there is.
From my perspective,
yeah.
I'm just saying there's no guarantees. Like, you've got to turn up and still do work. But what we can say is that we can give you a pathway to more clarity in the business to get you from A to B. And so obviously we're not guaranteeing results, but we're providing you clarity to get you to the path of where you would like to be.
Yeah, perfect. So again, I'm bringing this up so Tanea, Ruth, Bianca, you guys can interject and say, that's realistic, that's not realistic, just so the communication is super clear, expectations are clear. What I generally say is our best clients, like difference between our best clients and worst clients is they show up 5 to 10 hours a week and they ask questions at least 3 times a week. If you do that, you're going to get a much better result than you are now. If you don't, then you're just going to waste your time. And then I just put it back on them and get them to take accountability and be like, is there any reason you wouldn't actually do that for 6 months? Like, do you trust yourself to do that? Yes. Well, there's your certainty. There's your guarantee. Is that accurate to now, Ruth, Bianca?
I think all of those answers were good. Like Paul, your one, like you could even say that and then like say, but like, here's some of the client results, which sort of like then stems off what Jake is saying, like the best clients, like they're quick to ask for help, quick to implement, which is good. And Danny, even like what you said, like, yeah, dig, like why are you so uncertain? Like, has it shown up before? Like finding out why they're uncertain, I think is also really good, because I think at that point of the call, if there's still a lot of uncertainty and we don't know why they're specifically uncertain, if it's like come from a past experience or something, they could still carry that belief that they're going to have the same experience coming into this program, regardless if it's different or not. And it's really going to impact how they show up and the results they get. If there's someone especially if there's someone who like tends to point fingers as well.
Awesome. Hopefully Tim has planned tomorrow objection handling. That'd be great. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, but we can do objection handling tomorrow, hopefully. For you, Danny, how would you sort of approach that? And again, just showing the coaches how we communicate, they communicate, we're all on the same page, working together.
So I sort of weed out the uncertainty, like when you ask the question about like, okay, have you brought someone on like a sales or marketing team before to help with ads? And if they say they have, it's like, okay, how was that experience? And it didn't work out, whatever happened. And then when I'm sensing uncertainty, and if they're asking like for, okay, what can you give me that you're going to guarantee me results? I was like, what's behind you asking that? Okay, so I'm just, last time I did this, they said I could do this and that, and nothing worked. So now I'm coming into this with a bit of fear. So then we talk about the fear and where that's coming from. And then going into that uncertainty, objection handling that we do.
Okay, so dig deeper into the thing. I think the thing we get across is that we don't give guarantees. We don't give false certainty. We get to the root cause of it and then reframe their belief, or we handle it like with authenticity, truth, so that we're maintaining integrity across into the coaching team. Cool. So we've got 9 minutes. Do we want to do a quick role play, Tanea? What do we want to do from here? Did you have anything planned to finish up, or did you want to do role play?
You're taking lead, but Bianca's
I'm leading. Okay, let's go role play. Let's go.
Bianca's playing client, and you are closer. Jake.
Okay, let's go to.
I'm gonna jump off for Colin 5.
Yeah, no stress. Cool. So we're going up here. So transition. Cool. So Bianca, I don't have any more questions. Is there anything else that we need to cover that you feel is super important?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Cool. Okay. I'm just gonna make this up along the way. So yeah, based on what you told me, Bianca, we can definitely help. I feel really confident about this. The reason being, you've been in the industry for 6 years. You're clearly good at what you do. We talked about a lot of your client results. You mentioned that, the biggest bottleneck for you right now is that you've tried multiple marketing agencies, you've tried, coaches, and it didn't work. And we established the reason was that you were essentially solving the wrong problem, which was you were trying to do content or do a strategy, but there's not actually like any system or foundation in place in your business. You're kind of just guessing. So if we fix that, I feel very confident that you will do a really good job at delivering the service. Would you agree?
Yeah, I hope so, because nothing's
Awesome.
working at the moment.
Yeah. So when you say you hope so, like how do you feel about your ability to deliver for your clients, like putting the marketing aside?
I know I can deliver. I guess
Yeah.
it's just the marketing that I used to do that used to work just isn't working anymore. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we can definitely fix that. So that's why I'm confident. You're good at what you do. We're good at what we do. So where do you want to go from here, Bianca? Like, I feel like we can definitely walk through what we do A to Z and see how we can help you get to that 100K a month. But you tell me.
Yeah. Can you walk me
Cool.
through it?
Absolutely. So grab a pen and paper. So write 1 to 4 down the page, space in between, and let's go through it together. So everything we do is customized, just to preface what we do. So for you, it's going to be 4 things. 4 things required to get you from where you are to 100K a month in 6 months. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is essentially audit your business and fix set a strong foundation for this to be successful. So uh, whether you're aware or not, most business owners don't actually fix the right problem most of the time. They spend their time doing the wrong things. So what that means is they never actually move the needle in the business and they just go around in circles, which is kind of what you mentioned about earlier in the call. So the problem with that is right now, do you feel like you're actually solving the right problems or are you sort of just guessing at the moment?
I'm just guessing. I'm getting pulled in
Yeah.
100 different directions. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm spread so thin.
And that's affecting you because you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling overwhelmed, and nothing's really working at the moment, right?
Yeah, I feel burnt
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, which is totally fair. So we want to fix that, right? The way to fix that is by first fixing your foundation so we can build out a marketing system. So in order to do that, we need to do an audit, we need to pull apart the business, we need to figure out what are the major bottlenecks right now in the business that are stopping you from actually moving forward in the direction you want to go. Once we've got that understanding, we're going to create a 30-day customized business plan with a constraints-based model, which essentially means we make a checklist of most urgent to least urgent problems to fix. Yeah. Do you feel like that would be helpful to actually feel confident you're fixing the right things?
Yeah, to get another set of eyes. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever audited your business with a professional and had everything laid out in front of you, step by step, exactly what you need to fix and why it's going to get you where you need to go?
I've had coaches before, but probably not at that granular level. More, I'm doing the plan and they're telling me, they're holding me accountable to doing it, but that sounds maybe a bit different.
Okay. On the side of that, we also need to figure out like how to put you in the shoes of a CEO and actually work on your business effectively. So you mentioned you're wearing a lot of different hats. You're not really making much time for the important things in the business. So we need to block out 5 to 10 hours in your week and make sure you're actually working on the things that your business needs right now to go to where you need to go. Once you've done that, we're going to give you some homework to complete so we can start to build your knowledge up and start to get to work with you on a coaching level. Does that feel like it would actually help?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? What do you feel like is missing from that? Is there something you're not clear on?
No, I guess, you mentioned that you have the training and stuff there. Yeah. I guess if I just know what to do, I can just do it.
Yeah. So just to summarize that, to give you a little bit more clarity. So we're pulling apart your business. We're doing a checklist of the most important things that are not getting solved right now. So you know what they are. We're going to go through them step by step with you, make sure they get solved. Yeah. We're going to make sure you're doing what you need to do with your time as a business owner to actually fix those problems and move to the revenue level that you want to be at. And then give you homework so you understand how you do it while we work with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So the reason this matters is because right now we're not fixing with the revenue, and it's going to benefit you because you're going to feel less stressed, less burnt out, and you're actually going to make measurable progress in terms of revenue and cash in your bank account. Yeah.
Oh, sounds good.
Cool. All right. Nice. And then we've only got 3 minutes, but basically I'll go through the next stages exactly like that.
Question. Question. Is there a way now? This is just a question because I was listening, but is there a way to do this? I felt like you were talking a lot, which is
it felt very monologue.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I just wanted to know like whether there is a way for it to be more interactive and maybe like we're still telling them, but also in a way that's like more getting them to tell us through questioning. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like you were talking a lot. And I don't know if that's because we're role playing, but also like you're role playing. So if you're on a call and you're talking that much, what are your thoughts?
So generally, how it would be is a lot more concise, and it's basically like, this is what we do, this is why, or how it links to your problem, this is how we solve it. So I wouldn't ask her questions at all throughout it until this part here. This is the interactive part generally, but she was saying a lot of uncertain stuff, which pretty much none of the people I talk to say because we've done a whole 40-minute call. But it's very concise, very to the point. It's basically, again, going off Cole Gordon's structure, it's very like, this is where you're the leader. So you're basically just telling them how you're going to get them out of their problem and just getting them to agree that that's what they're looking for and kind of working through whether that's accurate or not. So it's not a discovery. It's we've done all that work already. It's like, cool, I'm going to take your hand and show you where to go now and why you're going to go there. So yeah, I guess like in context to the call, that it makes sense why it's framed that way, but maybe not like without any context to Bianca. That makes sense. Is that what you were sort of asking?
Yeah, it sounded very wordy, and I wasn't sure if that was just because of the client Bianca was playing, or if it was because of role playing, or like it does sound like that. But obviously, just listening to this part as opposed to a whole call, it's a bit different. Yeah,
so it's more so because Bianca was really uncertain, and which is not normally how it would be, but that's fine. I wouldn't just skip past that, but generally it's very concise. So for the sales guys, when you are doing this, it's very like, this is what most business problem. This is the problem. This is how we fix it. This is why it matters. Makes sense. Cool. Why do you feel like this would be helpful? Great. Move on. Like it should take like maybe 5 to 8 minutes to go through this part here, maximum. Like it's pretty like bullet point. And then you kind of interact at the end of each of them, but you do most of your interaction here when you go into delivery. So you want a temperature check, go through all that sort of stuff. So you do want to get through it as fast as possible because you're right. Like you don't want it to be wordy. You don't want to like overwhelm their brain and then they're like, oh, processing too much. But again, they normally wouldn't be uncertain, like Bianca was.
And have they done most of the talking for the first 3?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I talk like 20% throughout the actual call because it's not a coaching call. Like I'm just trying to gather as much information and help them sort of, because the more they talk, the more they're actually cementing and creating the belief around what they're talking about. So I want to help them step into a buyer's identity at this point through, they're basically selling themselves throughout the whole call by just answering very strategic questions. It's interactive in a sense of like for example, in their goal, you like boost them up and you know, it's a conversation. Like you're like, oh, that's amazing. Like you want to start a family. Tell me about that. That's cool. You know, like you're definitely like in it, but yeah, this is the only part of the call where you're like, all right, I'll take the steering wheel this is where we're going. Like that's the idea. Cool. All right. That's pretty much it for the pitch. I think we've got to jump off. Any last things, Tanea? Any last things
Quick
from
takeaway
anyone?
in the chat from
Yeah,
everyone.
quick takeaway, guys.
Get those fingers typing.
Yeah, while you guys are doing that, to give you an idea, like the challenge, the discovery, the goal, like they're talking 80% of the time, consequence, support, this whole section until you transition. This part's where you're like, okay, I have everything I need. Let's go. This is where we're going. We're in solution mode now. So
I think that's just the most important part, right, with the transition is like, when you're going through each stage, you don't want to talk so much to the point where you're actually giving them stuff to like need to go away and think about. That's the last thing you want
100%.
them to have on the call. All right, Bianca said good aligned teams on the promises. Yes, amazing. I love that too. We will be updating the onboarding client process with a couple of things that like the coaches will audit so that like you guys have that information. Stacey said tying the discovery and the scenario into the pitch and walk through step by step to make sure it's aligned with their goals. Yes, love that. What else we got? Good to be all on the same page and seeing how everything flows together over every day. 100% sales and coaching team need to be so aligned to make sure that there is no gap between what's promised and the delivery. Gian said, make sure to understand the situation before pitching. Nice, Gian. And then Paul said, personalization, Heaven Island 101. Love it. And Josiah said, alignment with their problems in discovery, linking to solution. Amazing, team. So good.
Awesome.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Jake, for running us through. Hope you all have a
good. Thanks, Tanea.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you.
Bye.